Jai Ho. So that was wonderful. Thank you very much. So Patapavan, you should be proud of your daughter. She sang the most complicated version. So nice. Yeah, I can't remember these. Then the day that you told me, it's all over. So now we ask our Pujari Dev, two Pujari Devs, before it used to be one, that can we have some Jugal Jodi Sarkar Bhajan? I think you got two of them. One that one. Mangamila. Okay. Oh.
The first time I was attempt yeah. Have you got this sort of better? Yeah.
Back off or back off?
Oh, really? What was that?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Leela Arati Karo He Lalita Shakhiga Lalita Shakhiga Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Arati Karo He Lalita Shakhiga Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Arati Karo He Lalita Shakhiga Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhanga Sundar 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 Pitambara Shiki Pucha Chura Manava 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 Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Leela Arati Karo He Lalita Shakhiga Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Leela Arati Karo He Lalita Shakhiga Lalita Madhava Pame Vishwabhanu Ganga 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 Srila Vashana Gauri Rupe Bhule Ganga Srila Vashana Gauri Rupe Bhule Ganga Srila Vashana Gauri Rupe Bhule Ganga Srila Vashana Gauri Rupe
Hare
I'll read the translation.
You didn't tell me.
I'll read.
Okay, Jai.
Would you make it a shopkeepers?
Jai Ho. So wonderful bhajan, and let's say the meaning of it. All glories to the meeting of the transcendental pair, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Jugal Jodi Sarkar ki. The gopis, headed by Lalita, perform the arati ceremony for their pleasure. The threefold bending form of Krishna, the attractor of Cupid, Madan Mohan ki, Jai, dressed in yellow silk dhoti and wearing a crown decorated with peacock feathers, is simply captivating to the mind. 3. Sitting to the left of the charming Lord Mahadev is the daughter of King Vrishvanu. Bolo Vrishvanu Ladli ki, dressed in a lovely deep blue sari. Her complexion is the color of molten gold, and all characteristics of her beauty and qualities are highly praiseworthy. She is decorated with various shimmering, sparkling ornaments. Her face is so splendorous that it enchants the mind of Lord Hari. The gopis of Vishaka's group sing many enchanting songs in various tunes, while the topmost class of gopis, known as Priya Narma Sakhis, soothes Radha and Krishna by waving chamra fans, as many people read chamra as camera. Do we mean this a camera? I mean that's chamra. Okay. Hoping to attain the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhav, Bhakti Vinod happily swims in the ocean of bliss found at the feet of the damsels of Brajda. Haribo! Haribo! Jugal Jodi Sarkar ki. और भी कुछ होना भी वो किधर गए वो हमारे वो कह रहा था सब कुछ है मेरे पास हाँ
He's got the keys to the store.
Please don't block the doorway. प्रभु जी आप क्या गाओगे अभी बोले सब कुछ है आप तो बोले सब कुछ है आपके पास
अब टाइम नहीं है ना सब कुछ टाइम नहीं है सब कुछ है बस टाइम नहीं बाकी सब कुछ है
अच्छा किसी को आता है झूलन का भजन
Oh yeah, that I think Bhumika knows reality.
I don't remember the song, but I remember one song that I can sing. But my voice is not that good.
No matter. Over here, everybody is.
About what July, about like we celebrate Eid. So before Eid, we wear churis and all these.
All right.
So Krishna comes in the form of Manihari.
Manihari. Oh yeah, a seller for this. And he dresses up as female.
Yes.
Yeah, and then goes to the prasad.
So this song.
All right. So wordings नहीं होंगे.
Wording
What's the word? Hello, where are you going?
Chorus क्या है?
The wording.
मणिहारी का बेस बनाया, श्याम चूड़ी बेच लिया है. So you can cover up.
Yeah.
My
What
voice
you
is
say?
not good.
Maybe you can share the mic with
Yeah.
your friend.
I think Manihari or something.
Manihari.
Okay.
मणिहारी का भेष बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया छलिया का भेष बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया मणिहारी का भेष बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया चोली कांधे धरी उसमें चूड़ी भरी चोली कांधे धरी उसमें चूड़ी भरी गलियों में शोर you know, you did.
There isn't a password.
It's about Judy.
No, today, yeah.
No, no, today.
No, you
I
don't
make
have
a
to.
video
अच्छा है ये डाला
inspiration group.
We've got the words. Hold on.
no they got the word as well on there
No, but then at least everyone can sing along to it. Just press allow. You need to turn the other way around. Then you'll see. Yeah, there.
ये ना एक बार फिर कर दीजिए
I
That is the one.
मनिहारी का भेष बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया छलिया का भेष बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने
Sham Juri
चलिया का वेश बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया बिहारी का वेश बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया चूड़ी लाल नहीं चूड़ी हरी नहीं चूड़ी लाल नहीं चूड़ी हरी नहीं मोहे श्याम रंग है भाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया मुझे श्याम रंग है भाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया बिहारी का वेश बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया चलिया का वेश बनाया श्याम चूड़ी बेचने आया
राधे राधे राधे
क्या गट्स है हमारे छलिया एकदम बरसाने में जाके चूड़ियां बेच रहे हैं तो पूजा के लिए बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज एंड सो पटियाले वाले को है चूलन दा या छलिया दा छलियां नहीं कुछ खाने वाले नहीं ओह सॉरी जय राधा माधव No, somebody's got to sing Jai Radha.
But the
Class is 6 o'clock.
what time is class on the schedule?
Oh, is it?
Going to be
You guys are shy. No, but we've been doing art
I
till
know
7 o'clock.
because because it's been running late. We started on time
But
today.
we've been enjoying ourselves. That's the main thing.
Who was looking at the time? It's his birthday.
We got a schedule.
बच्चे मैंने किसी के पास है
When was the last time?
What is the schedule?
वो गुरु सेवक
Yeah, schedule. I'm trying to just
Yeah.
keep running. But Pavan, you
Yeah.
have to do class today. You're not going to get out of it.
वो गोरा है
He's giving class.
Did you want the cushion or do you want the actual seat?
क्वेश्चन
Quickly, 2 minutes का जयराध हमारा.
या एक बार हो राधे राधे
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गोपी जन वल्लभ
So,
That was
are
perfect.
there?
That was perfect.
Was it perfect? Okay, no. I'm getting used to this camera then. Okay, big round of applause for Jayarath. That was fantastic. Today is really very, very special. I mean, we could hear from the song that the Brajbasis, they're not always doing artis. They're actually glorifying Radha Krishna's, Leelas. And Krishna's Leelas are not straightforward. I mean, Radha and Krishna is like the sunshine and the sun. You can't separate them. Yet, Radha and Krishna, they are unable to meet each other so regularly because Radharani is married to Abhimanyu and Jatila, mother-in-law, like mother-in-laws are, always watching, and she doesn't like Krishna at all. Because she said he's a Chariya, he's up to no good. So you can see with that kind of reputation, our Supreme Lord has got a bad reputation in Vrindavan. Come on.
Wow.
If you live in a city and you've got a bad rap, and you are on top of that, you've got to prove you're God. But he doesn't try it in Vrindavan because it's sometime. So then Radharani, she is very chaste to Krishna, although she's married. I mean, if you had to explain to some other religion that our top model is Krishna and Radharani, and they're not married, but they're consorts, you'll be thinking, what are you presenting? But it's amazing, you have to understand the twist, that constitutionally they are married, like Brahmaji married them, a Bandhivan under a forest, when they were young. But later on, for the Leela's sake, to heighten the relationship, there is this thing that Radharani is married, and actually Abhimanyu is so busy, raising his the stock of the cows, that he is not interested in Radharani really. He's busy, and Jatila always wants more and more cows, which means more wealth. Even when she gets Krishna, who acts as a Brahmin boy, he says, see if she's got wealth in there. He goes, actually, I'll tell you this thing, do never upset Radharani. Because if you upset Radharani, you're not going to get rich. Who's cousin of Krishna, she would say, remember what the Brahman said, that you must listen to whatever she says. But I'll keep an eye on her. I won't let Krishna anywhere near Radharani. So, all these leelas excite you that the Supreme Lord, who has access to anything in the world, yet he can't access Radharani's love. And it heightens the whole thing. So similarly, we are devotees. We understand Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We read Gita, we hear Bhagavatam Katha and everything, and yet we are unable to meet Krishna. So then you realize that it was difficult for the gopis as well. Please focus in. Gopis and all that as well. Children, they always take away the attention from the speaker. It always happens. So what happens, you have to realize this bhakti is all about, you want Krishna and yet you can't have him. But you continue to endeavor and endeavor and endeavor. So one day when you go to Golok, you'll realize how much dear Krishna and Radharani are. You'll be able to take their darshans. So these leelas are actually very, very, deep. But we think it's just like any ordinary man and ordinary girl doing it. It isn't ordinary at all, very extraordinary. And the ones who sing this, they are very chaste people. They follow dharma very nicely. And yet they are singing these songs of cheating going on, so we are endorsing what Radha and Krishna are doing. Because that is the whole thing. We have to cheat this material world. This Maya, we are married to Maya. We have to cheat Maya to be with Radha and Krishna like that. So there's a whole lot of deep meanings in there. So thank you for coming and thank you for singing, because sometimes there's a schedule, but I really like spontaneity. Spontaneously somebody comes with a rasa and we enjoy it. And we Prabhu really backed up nicely as well. So now let's come to Pavan Prabhu. It's his 50th birthday. It was the other day. So big round of applause for him. He's sponsored as well. So it's very, very, we appreciate anybody wants to sponsor their birthdays, anniversaries, something, you're welcome. Now the thing is, I remember Avatar coming to temple, young man, still young, and he came and he was very much interested in Krishna consciousness. That's his brother, the older brother, right? And so he came and he got interested. So then I said, do you have any family? He goes, yeah, I've got a sister and a brother. So I said, why don't you bring them? He goes, oh, no, not Patita Pavan. What was it called? Pargan. Pargan, he won't be interested. I said, why? He says, a Shiv Bhakt. He likes Lord Shivji, so where is he going to take to? And please realize the background, they're from a Sikh background, a Sikh family. So it was really, really special. Like, what do we say to them to attract them to this Dharma? And we shouldn't really worry in Punjab, they understand both Sanatan Dharma and Sikh Dharma and everything. So then Patapavan came, and then he got interested more and more. And Patapavan was very enthusiastic, whereas Avatar holds on, he's a little reserved a little bit. But Patapavan started to show interest, and we really started chant. And when we used to chant here, remember, we would be really shouting, myself and him. We used to come from Mangalarti, Hare Krishna, really, really loud. Others would be getting disturbed, like, what are these two guys doing? But I would love his enthusiasm. And then he got married. Enthusiasm went. No, it didn't. But the Pavan's enthusiasm never goes down. So I remember the day, you came here, and we were thinking, Sikh background, would, his wife take to, this religion, because it can be difficult. But can you give Kasturi a big round of applause? She did take to it, she stuck to it, and she loved it. She loved it. And it's amazing. So that was great, And then I remember Guruvani being born, and Janimai being born and all that. We've been on this journey like that. So I'm just giving you that side of it from my side. And so when it was his 50th birthday, I thought, oh my God, I remember him when he walked in, Avatar came first. So love to hear his journey. Would you like to hear his journey? To now. So then, please, our request is that you share with us that many others might come across this Dharma, Prabhupada's, mission. And what is it you felt, was different to your going to regular Hindu temple, although you got interested in Lord Shivji? I'll be very much interested to know what this thing is, because it'll inspire lots of people, and they might have questions, or maybe, they just appreciate your journey. So please, welcome. Take a seat. Come, a big round of applause for Maya. Yeah. Oh, you got a mic.
They can't control the camera really, because this thing's not switching on. That's why I can't control the camera. So you turn that on. Yeah,
But this camera is working now.
yeah, but how do you turn that on?
You don't want to zoom into
No. We don't want to see all the warts and the moles.
the rest of the camera.
That's why I can't control the camera.
Sorry.
Because I do shift work, I don't get a chance to dial into the Zoom program all the time. But the devotees were reading Garika Sangita. It's literally pastimes, as well as Krishna's associates, because I've always wondered that after killing Kansa, because Kansa was quite strong, he wasn't a weak person, everybody can have fear. Like I tried to tell my kids, fear, it's just in your mind. There's no such actual physical form beyond the thing drawn around. You with me? There's nothing, it's actually here. Whatever you develop while meditating on something that's going to scare you, it just grows. So it's actually so Kansa's issue was that he didn't want to bow down to no one. So I was always intrigued, like, once Krishna had beat him up and killed him, what did he actually do with him? So Garika Sangita actually said that Kansa was piled on sandalwood. That's such an honor. With sandalwood. You'll be lucky if you get wood. You normally just stuck in an oven, isn't it? Yeah. And you press the button. But sandalwood is a very rare Krishna even proved it when he was, but because Haridas Prabhu started off with Leelas, so I was sitting there, I was distracted in my head because you're trying to remember the Leelas and the importance of sandalwood. You know, once it was raining, and Arjuna always said to Krishna, Karna, Karana, 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 Ah, Karana this, Karana that. So Krishna always waits at the right time. Yeah? You have to wait for the right moment. So Krishna said, okay, I'm going to do yajna today. Arjuna, how are you going to do a yajna? It's raining. And then Krishna, that's okay. Just get sandalwood, whatever you can find, just bring. He goes, well, it's all going to, it's wet. It's raining season. How is that even possible? He goes, okay, chalo apan Karan de kar jane. Because looks like you can't get me sandalwood. So we'll go to Karan, we'll go to his palace. And Karan, he's very, yes, he was on the wrong side, but you know, Jeda loon khada, oda ta likha dena penda hai. Whoever's house you mainly eat from, you know, it's grains. You have to give that karma. Krishna went to the palace of Karana, and he said, and Karana paid his advice and says, yes, how can I help? He goes, I want to do yajna, I need sandalwood. Even Karana thought, okay, it's raining, but then he goes, okay. Through meditation, anything is possible. With one arrow, Karana took all the sandalwood from his palace and gave it to Krishna. Arjuna was just looking, like, I couldn't find, but his couldn't. Yeah? So Krishna has always established the importance of devotees. And Mahavishnu, yeah, he lives original. Yeah? But now I'm trying to get to the importance of devotee. Lalita and Vishaka treated Mahavishnu like nothing, literally. I couldn't. Yeah? But they, in Golok Vrindavan, it's like Nikunj, 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 Nikunj. It's meditation, same as the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. The more you read it, the more you look for depths within the verse. So Mahavishnu had gone to Golok Vrindavan, wanted audience with Krishna. And Lalita and Vishaka, they literally, you know, now we translation door enough only, you know. You with me? And Lord Mahavishnu standing there saying, you shouldn't be so bored, you shouldn't be like that. You know, because Sanskrit is a lot more softer. Can you imagine if everybody was Punjabi and go over Vrindavan? It would be, wow. It wouldn't work, would it? It would be yeah? It will do mentality. Sanskrit is not like that. Yeah, it's so sweet. But Lalita, I think it was Lalita, I'll get it because my memory is very poor. So one of them was saying, just don't open. They're gone to the inner sanctum of Golok Vrindavan, you can't see them. And Mahavishnu, that's the power of the devotee. Mahavishnu is at the door, and the devotee is saying, forget it. They are internally enjoying. So when Mataji is singing this bhajan, there's so many pastimes. There's so many pastimes of Radha and Krishna. When, you know, it's literally, you wouldn't know where to start. Like Haridas Prabhu asked a question because there was so many intimate pastimes and there was like radio silence on Zoom. And Haridas Prabhu was like, anybody got an opinion?
Oh, is everybody awake?
Yeah, after because nobody responded. It was literally like 60 seconds is a long time. If you work in a factory, on a factory line, literally after 60 seconds, got to go ka-choom, ka-choom. And then it doesn't work. Everybody tells me I'm at work, I'm finally tuned to the takt time, they call it. So when there was nothing going on, I was like, God, that's a long silence. But there's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be a long silence because it was such a deep subject, such a deep conversation. To ask a conversation of Radha and Krishna's internal pastimes, who can join in? ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬਸ ਐਰਾ ਕੈਰਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਰਲ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਦੱਸ ਦੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ even though you read it but to meditate on it it's not that easy to answer the question when the secret devotee is asking. It was literally, and then I think it was yesterday I said to her, that's what I said, you know, you had that long silence because who was going to join in your conversation to your level? Yeah, because to bhakti there's levels. Nikunj, nikunj, nikunj. You can only entertain yourself at the level you're at. Yeah, like kids play games, they'll say level 32. I've smashed it, I'm really, because that's the level they're at. They're studying. I think it goes from like 3 to whatever. And some parents will say, that's it. But that's the level he's at. Yeah. Bhakti is like that. You want an audience into Vrajna. Yeah. You have to accept it as is. You can't be judgmental on it. Yeah. When I first went to Vrindavan, it was in Haridas Prabhu in Guru Maharaj. And I can tell you that was a rough experience. Seva Kund. Oh, that, yeah. But Haridas Prabhu was constantly correcting me. Like I went into this sadhu samadhi who wasn't there. Being Punjabi, like, I'm a date. Like, you know, the key he's literally in the middle of the field. Now, Haridas Prabhu was looking the other way with Guru Maharaj. And then I'm inside like this. Haridas Prabhu was like, what you doing? Get out of there. I was like, I just wanted to have a look. I said, did you go look? This is Braj Mangal. There's a sadhu probably sitting there and I'm like, I couldn't see anything. He goes, that doesn't mean he's not there. I was like, and then Seva Kund, that was like next level. But that level, it made me attracted to Seva Kund so much. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Because even somebody was taking the mickey out of me. Yeah, somebody at work, one of the managers, he goes to me, you're a lost soul. And I just smiled. I said, Jisko rake sanya mar sakena koi. Then he just smiled. Because he reminded me of Seva Kund. Because from that moment, I had found my spiritual master. I have no desire to get initiated. It was Haridas Prabhu who just invited me to come along. And typical, I thought, yeah, why not? Let's go and have a look, see what's going on. It is Iskcon, let's go and have a look. I was new to Iskcon. So why not just go and have a look, see what's going on? Got to Seva Kund, that was just like, yo, what just happened? I went, was taken because we think our temple is small. Seva Kund is probably 1/3, isn't it? 1/3? Or something, literally, if you drew a line from this end of this gate.
Well, I'm saying from the door.
Yeah, it's long, isn't it? It's not very wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very wide. But the bar, the devotees are hanging like this, you know, to the marble pillars. And they're going, Radhe. And I was just looking around. But when everybody left, we were still there. So I literally stood in front of the altar. And I was taking darshan, which the altar door wasn't very wide either. I don't know if devotees have been, apart from devotees here, I know they've been, but it's not very wide. I can't. And literally, look at the size of me. Yeah? I haven't been thin all the time. I just blocked. And this sadhu came.
No, you turn your back.
Yeah.
Because
I heard the sadhu come.
And then you turn around.
But if I heard the sadhu come, I wonder, typical me, I just want to know who's getting special treatment. The sadhu was coming and they were saying, everybody, chalo. And I was thinking, you know, who's this special treatment? So I turned around, straight away, I got like 1,000 volts like this. Sadhu was like, how dare you turn your back to the altar? And I was just like, what? Literally, I was just like, what? And the sadhu just kept at me. The sadhu was that much electrified at me, I couldn't even move from the altar. He's telling you got your back, you're uneducated. Then he looks at Haridas and Guru Maharaj, "Tusi innu itthe le aune
I said it the first time. He's
Yeah.
coming back, then train them and all that. So I just touched the elbow to calm him down because I was sparsh kar rahe hain,
Yeah.
you're touching me. I touched his feet there. And then he got really, and then Guru Maharaj at that point was quiet. He quickly came in between me and the sadhu.
Yeah.
And he goes,
That was-
Maharaj, darshan lijiye. What was? Maharaj said, he's so firm, he's so calm.
Yeah.
And then other Braj Basi goes, Maharaj, please, you know, because for this big guns, you know.
Yeah.
Maharaj said, darshan kijiye, yahan darshan. Galti hogi, koi baat. Jada na. Aisa keh ke.
Yeah.
Nothing to
Yeah, it did, yeah. Quite quick. But I was intrigued, but I couldn't move. I was just getting constantly, by the sadhu, I was getting mercy, constant mercy. I couldn't even move. Even though he's telling me to move, I couldn't move. Maybe it was just, you know,
Sure.
the shock and the prasad and I see that mercy was to be received into my vessel. But that genuinely gave me attachment to Seva Kunj. Now, recently, I've been missing more because I haven't been for like 4 years. Yeah, but that 3 weeks with Guru Maharaj was so intense. It was unbelievable. Like we went by train everywhere. And I vowed after that I would never travel by Bharatiya train again. And I haven't, you know, genuinely I haven't gone out of my way. Only once I booked a ticket. And when I got to Kasturi Sisters village, they said, "Oh, we want to come." And we literally threw the ticket in the bin and we went by road. And because the train journeys are just tuk tuk, tuk tuk. It was literally, even the express to me was like tuk tuk. You felt even though it's on tracks, I felt every bump in the tracks that I went to, every village I went through. You know, it was quite intense, but Guru Maharaj's mercy didn't stop. So on my first journey, I'm still there, and then Guru Maharaj, he goes, "Somebody's got to stay awake." And I thought, I'm not volunteering. I just kept my mouth shut. Because I don't volunteer for nothing, I tell my work as well. And then Haridas goes, "But Pagan, you used to be in the army, so you can take the ship." And I'm thinking, what, hey? Well, I thought, okay. I'll, you know, you've been given a task, so you don't. So there was, on Guru Maharaj normally preached on the train, and then as it got into the night, it got quieter. And I'm thinking, I'm doing the first watch, but everybody's still awake, so when do I take the rest? So it started carrying on, and then Haridas, I think 2 o'clock in the morning, took a rest, he went, and then Guru Maharaj, we closed the curtains, and I'm sitting on the edge, like if you've seen the sleeper trains, they have a bed here, and then there's that 4 beds in there.
Yeah.
And the curtains were closed, and I'm thinking, I'm on watch, and I'm barely staying awake, honestly. And then the train jolted, and I fell through the curtains. And again, I was one of those moments, and I'm thinking, the Punjabi came out to me in my brain. I'm thinking, Maharaj is sitting there chanting, and I'm keeping watch. And I quickly closed the curtains. So I was like, Maharaj asked me to keep watch, but he's awake. What's going on? I was really confused. But that's spiritual life. Because a sadhu, yeah, can only meditate on Krishna when he's not preaching, and Guru Maharaj was always preaching. If you traveled with him on the train, Guru Maharaj never stopped preaching. So that was his personal time and his association with Radha and Krishna, which I understand now. I didn't at the time, I was just thinking of my own selfish body. I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, I'm a straightforward person. I'll tell you as it is. And then we went to somewhere else. We went to Gaji, but in the Mahadam, they packed the dal and sabjis, you know. So this is like 24 hours in the heat on the train. And this mung dal, yeah, when you opened it.
And aloo, matar,
Yeah.
gajar, and aloo. I remember because they become.
And these mung dals, yeah. So you imagine now we put everything in the refrigerator. This has been on the train with me. I've been sleeping with it very little. But then when we got there was other devotees with us. And as soon as we opened the door and you like put a spoon in, he lifted up the spoon and the dal was still
Springy.
attached.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I looked at Haridas Prabhu, I was like, the dal, the dandiya is still attached from the tub to the spoon. And then Haridas Prabhu goes, oh, I think that's gone off. We'll speak to Guru Maharaj. We can't eat that. So Haridas Prabhu went to see Guru Maharaj, and the other devotees like, we're not eating that. We're going to go and eat out. So I was like, who's going to eat all this? And then Haridas Prabhu comes back with a message saying, Guru Maharaj said, we've got to eat it. It's mouth. And I'm like, has anybody seen this? It's like elastic. It just stretches. But anyway, we ate it and we weren't ill. Whether we had it as well. We never had diarrhea or vomiting or nothing. The devotees that ate out, they got diarrhea and sickness. And I was shocked and I was just like, good job we had the Maha. We never got ill. And I kid you not, those days I never had a mobile phone. But if I could take a picture of that pot of the dal coming up like this, and you'd see like it, you know, when dals ferment and they've gone off, it literally is like elastic. How do you know? She's laughing. It's like that. It does. It was literally like it never let go of the spoon, and Haridas Prabhu comes back. Man, oh, the woman when he goes, oh, Guru Maharaj goes, you got to eat it. I was like, does that mean you left? Yeah, and we finished it, but when it came after 24 hours, you know, the mercy was unbelievable. Yeah, so Guru Maharaj's mercy was unbelievable. You know, that was in Gayadi. Yeah, and then we went to do prayers, but you couldn't do prayers unless you were a Brahmin. Yeah, and I'm not Guru Maharaj's disciple, but then Guru Maharaj gave me Yajna Puvi through Haridas Prabhu to be able to do the prayers because my mother passed away when I was 6. So we don't know where our parents are gone. So this was like my best opportunity. And then when we got back to the ashram, Guru Maharaj was like, yeah, you can take that off now. Okay. And then we were in Mayapur as well. And the Mayapur experience, it literally, if you're trying to describe it to others, it's like a university campus. Yeah, there's anything and everything available. It's that big. I think it's bigger than Warwick campus. Virtually, it's just expanding and expanding and expanding. When I went in 1994 with Haridas Prabhu, you know, when you left the temple gates and you turned right to go to Yopi, there was nothing.
No shops.
Literally, it was jungle, and we would walk there. Yeah, and that's where that was the year that Haridas Prabhu did prayers to Satima, calling her son to pray, ask your son to come into my house. And it was a wonderful experience. Honestly, you can't beat it. But there was devotees. Guru Maharaj used to give us maha, and you would eat it instantly, because what are you supposed to do? In Mayapur, we went into, and we got told off that. It wasn't even our room. It was one of the other disciples' room. I wasn't even initiated. Such a neophyte. I thought, like, why am I getting battered? It's not even ours. Like, we went into one disciple's room. He was taking maha, and there was like a marble slab, that Bharatiya style, that stick out of the wall. He was taking the maha and just piling it up in his room. Never at it.
Really?
Yeah. And when we were leaving Mayapur, Guru Maharaj went into everybody's rooms to make sure we've taken everything. And I'm like, why is Guru Maharaj going to? And went into this room, and we opened the door. It wasn't even my room. I saw all this maha, and I thought, what the? Literally in my head, I'm like, that's now. And then Haridas Prabhu goes, no, Guru Maharaj goes, you know, if you don't want maha, just don't take it. But don't leave it like this for insects to come and eat. And Guru Maharaj was disappointed, but because I wasn't a disciple, I didn't know how to explain. But it's not mine, because you need etiquette, you know. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism, in Brahma Samvada, even if not in Gaudiya, in Brahma, you need etiquette to be able to speak to a spiritual master. Because I still remember my first interaction with Guru Maharaj. When I used to speak to him, proper like a village talk, I used to literally treat him like a Siana, and Guru Maharaj used to ask serious question. Again, I used to Punjabi, you're getting beat up all the time. And when Guru Maharaj said, think of Krishna, when you say Krishna, you can't think of anything. And then Guru Maharaj would laugh because it's literally like a village talk. But when Guru Maharaj told you off, that was a telling off as well. And like when you were serving him, that was just like immense. I remember the Birmingham devotees invited, and I still wasn't initiated at that time. My long blastings happened, literally a lot of them before I got initiated. And we were going to Birmingham, and I was the one who was like serving Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj goes, one Bhagavatam, one Bhagavad Gita, nectar of instruction, take these with you. I was like, okay. But Guru Maharaj never ever used them. Guru Maharaj's memory and scripture knowledge was so immense. We're sitting into Birmingham, but obviously, Guru Maharaj is checking the person as well. And Guru Maharaj goes to me, Beta, can I have, I don't know which scripture.
Bhagavad Gita.
Was it Bhagavad Gita? And I said,
It's in the book.
it's in the boot. Guru Maharaj just literally turned around. Guru Maharaj goes, you should be in the boot. Oh, God. That journey was, Guru Maharaj was then telling us how the scripture should be read. Guru Maharaj was serious because he literally turned around, pointed them, you should be in the boot. I was just going, boot. How are you going to be in the boot? That was Guru Maharaj's instructions. That's so disrespectful. Because Anantashesh never gets tired narrating the scriptures. He was mean. I'll put it in a boot, which if you think of Guru Maharaj's cleanliness, if anybody knows, people's cars, boots, what are they? I just had them in a bag, a cloth bag, and I just put them in, shut the boot. But the scriptures have to be respected that much. And then Guru Maharaj said, you should be in the boot. That day I learned, I was so glad that they invented like apps and things like that, because when I've gone to bathroom, then I don't touch, even if it's number one, I don't touch. After that experience, try to use the apps as much as possible for cleanliness, because Guru Maharaj's guidance was amazing. But then by his mercy, I did take initiation and became his disciple. I think it was 4th of July, 1994. Because in Janmashtami, we were going to install the lordships. And I think I was 22. Yeah, 22.
No, I was 21. It was your birthday.
Oh, okay, yeah. But that was my spiritual journey that started the 3 weeks I spent with Guru Maharaj and Haridas Prabhu in Bharat. That really made you understand. Because we were always searching, me and Avatar, we were always asking questions. Like even in Sikh, in Gurdwaras, like, should you be vegetarian? Should you be this? Should be doing this? Should you be doing that? And then I do remember when I first time Avatar Prabhu, because we look similar, maybe not that similar, but Avatar always thinks he looks younger than me. Because if we go to like our uncles to see and aunties, and they always say, "Hey, shota lagda." Look at the grin on his face. They always think that I'm the older one, but he's 2 years older than me. So it was by my brother's mercy I came here. And Haridas Prabhu looked at me and he waved. I was like, I wonder what's he waving at. Because I'm not. If I make a friend, I'm loyal to that friend for life. I don't have part-time friends. You with me? If someone is my friend, he's your friend for life. Because that's what friendship means. So I don't make friends that easily. I don't mix with people. I don't give myself. Neither does Krishna. Krishna doesn't give himself very easily to anyone. Because honoring friendship is not that easy. Even in difficult times, even if your friend is poor, you need to stand by them. You don't go and look for new friends. That's not how friendship works. You know the English wedding terms that they say, richer for poorer, for worse. That's friendship.
Sickness and health.
Sickness and in health. That's friendship. But then I've known Haridas Prabhu since then, and we've spoken to each other harshly, in goodness, we've had good laughs, but that's family spirit, but that's bonded our relationship. Like Haridas Prabhu said, I wasn't committed the first. Like once Haridas Prabhu just give me temple keys. He goes, right, I'll see you for Mangal Aarti. I was like, me? He goes, yeah, you come for Mangal Aarti. I had that much pressure, I didn't sleep all the night. Because I thought, if I fall asleep and then I don't get here, what then? And then luckily I was here before. But since then, I learned punctuality. Even Kasturi or Anugurwani, they get fed up with my punctuality. If we're going somewhere, I like to be, on time. And they say to me, but there's nobody going to be there. And I said, it doesn't matter. They said, let's say 2:30, I want to be there 2:30. But then even when you read Radha Krishna pastime, there are times that, this time Radha Krishna do this, and this time Radha Krishna do this. But that doesn't work when you go to Jagannath Puri. Because in Jagannath Puri, Jagannath does whatever he wants to do. That's why he's Jagannath. Because I don't remember Lord Jagannath, when I was with Haridas Prabhu those 3 weeks, I think we were 3-4 days in Jagannath Puri. Not once did Lord Jagannath go to sleep at a certain time, and not once did he eat at a certain time, and not once did he wake up at a certain time. I think we left once in 2 hours, 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and we didn't get there till 8, 9. And the partners were saying, oh yeah, 2 hours later, Jagannath was up. I was literally, that time work with the Leelas. What is that? But and then the partner was like, you don't understand Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath is Lord Jagannath. That's it. So then I didn't even make an effort to try and understand. If somebody say to you, and they serve him every day. But I've enjoyed reading the leaders of Lord Jagannath. Coming from a Sikh family, then I've read Leelas when Guru Nanak Ji went there. And he just literally, if you come out of the gate with Garud Stamba, you turn right, the house is down there. And that house and the servant was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Guru Nanak. And when he was there, they were dancing, literally dancing. It's surrounded by ocean. The water of Jagannath Puri, they said, is like salty. But that house that was given to Guru Nanak while he was staying there, the well, when if you go and have a look now, it's so deep. I don't know how deep it must be. But it's written that the water was sweet like nectar. Sweet like nectar. Now they have Guru Granth Sahib unborn in that house. But even the story, even in Jagannath Puri, you can't get in that easily. Even the Lord's devotees struggle. Guru Nanak Ji, because the way he was dressed, they didn't let him in because he was classed as a foreigner. Maybe he was a foreigner because he was from up north, but he wasn't classed as a local. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first time, when you read the devotees Leela, they were all smuggled on a boat into Jagannath Puri because the Mongols were always attacking. So to get into Jagannath Puri was like so strict, it was unbelievable. Even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, even they were devotees were smuggled into Jagannath Puri. So even my experience with Guru Maharaj in Jagannath Puri was like the cleanliness. That's what Guru Maharaj gave me. That cleanliness is the highest. Yeah. So, the rickshaw times.
Yeah.
We were in a hurry, we were coming back. and Guru Maharaj was trying to get across to, is it the Paradise Hotel? We were on the rickshaw wala didn't stop on that side, he just stopped on this side. Like I said, I was nearby, I didn't know what to do, and Guru Maharaj was quickly trying to get up. And I went to move the bicycle wheel, the rickshaw wheel out of the way, but instead it touched Guru Maharaj's leg. And I was straight away, I was like, this is going to be a blasting. And then Guru Maharaj was like, nonsense, what am I supposed to do now? This wheel is so dirty, people spit on the floor, they do this, don't, and you've touched it to me, what am I supposed to do now? Have a bath? And Guru Maharaj wasn't in good health, even though Guru Maharaj was always like a tiger and a lion in preaching. Guru Maharaj's health was not very good. So I was like, Guru Maharaj is really going to have another bath. Like now, but Guru Maharaj did go to the bathroom. But I didn't not take like I didn't want any more blasting, so I didn't ask her, are we having another bath? And then that was cleanliness lesson. You know, Prashadam lesson I learned in Delhi. We had done all the yatra. Even the brahmacharis were too scared to serve Guru Maharaj. You know, that they set up prasad and everything, but Guru Maharaj, he was giving pravachan, and then Guru Maharaj always liked to hand out sweets. And Guru Maharaj started handing out sweets for the Delhi program. The peoples were there in hundreds. And the Pedas just kept coming. The brahmacharis goes, can you tell your spiritual master lunch is ready? Me? Wow. So this is when you start to learn etiquette. First time I went on in Guru Maharaj, Prashadam is ready. Guru Maharaj, thank you, Beta, we'll be there soon. That soon was like half an hour later, the brahmachari is going, it's getting cold and we've already served it. And I'm like, okay, I go back. And I went, Guru Maharaj, Prashadam is getting cold and the devotees saying they've already served it. Okay, Beta, I'm coming. Third time, when the brahmacharis, you know, he got a bit tense that moment. And I went, Guru Maharaj, the khana is getting cold. Guru Maharaj turned around, he went, khana? Main khana khana? No. I was literally, because I thought, this is not like a public blasting. I went, no, Guru Maharaj, the prashad. Is it not offered to the Lord? Guru Maharaj said, I was good. It's ma. And then Guru Maharaj goes, okay, then Guru Maharaj goes, okay, beta, I'm coming. Then Guru Maharaj did come. Now it's just like, you know, that's life. So it's prashad, but that lesson I did learn that you should. Sari umar khana kha ke nahi banda thakde. Par ek wari bhog la ke kha ke dekho, jehda khana tusi siddha apne mੂੰਹ ਚ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹਰੀ ਦੇ ਚਾਰਨਾਂ ਚ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਕੀ ਅਮਰਤ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ. Prashad gives life. Khana reduces life. That's the aim. You know, I can't remember the name of the Quran where I read it last time, where the Lord Vishnu is literally, they call him Yajna because whatever you eat actually falls on him, the residing deity in your heart. So if you're eating Maha, you're actually energizing your body. So Guru Maharaj wasn't wrong, but it just took me a long time to learn. It was a very hard lesson, but it was a good one. I even remember on the bathroom, you know, like it was on the train and I caught diarrhea, and then Guru Maharaj, I kept going back and forth to the toilet. And then I remember I forgot to tuck my nala in from my tracksuit. And then Guru Maharaj said, hey, that's probably saying, tell him it's not fashion. You know, I said, I didn't even know that it wasn't meant to be like that. I'm just so drained.
And Sanjay Das did the same.
Yeah.
The father had to come down.
Yeah. Honestly, Guru Maharaj was so firm, so strict. You know, he was so regimented. But he made you, you know. I remember that actually, when I took initiation was meant to be for Avtar Prabhu. and Keshav Prabhu. And who was the other devotee? Ravi Prabhu.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just before I got my name, I was sitting in Avatar Prabhu was American. Guru Maharaj literally said, it wasn't your turn yet. And then he looked at me, he goes, Keshav was there, and he goes, I was hoping, but he goes, it looks like Krishna's been kind to you. And Guru Maharaj said, just because of your service in Bharat, otherwise it wasn't your turn. And Guru Maharaj said that in public. And I was like, wow, thank you. So merciful spiritual master. But I always try and encourage, like people say, oh, that's spiritual masters or Buddha. I never say that. They've gone to Samadhi, whether they were cremated, is Samadhi. Because as you learn, like even now, I try to learn about Sikhi. And I remember when Guru Gobind Singh went into Samadhi, he actually told his disciples, when I'm gone, do not do Purora Pradi of my Ati. But they did. And they said, oh, he's gone. But one disciple came and he said, oh, I've just seen your Guru go that way with his black horse. But even now, only in 1940 something. So my faith for Guru is, it is each individual. Yeah. And a Guru isn't for Christmas. You don't go, it is only to Raja, you go to another one. It is only Raja, you go for another one. Yeah. There's recently, I was saying last time, you know, that Baba in Vrindavan.
You know?
Yeah, no, something 108.
So,
His body amount.
long.
Yeah. Dadi. Is it Vinod? One of his lectures, he said, because one of them said how you should select a guru, because you shouldn't select. Because you shouldn't select. Because first observe, do you like his habits? Does he like your habits? He goes after a year, 2 years, you know, then, because he goes, it's a relationship. It's not a 5-minute thing. Yeah. Like the Western people say, you know, because they love their pets, they say dog is not for Christmas. Because when people can't afford to keep them, they just dump them. So Guru is not like that. Guru's relationship is eternal. Guru has to, wherever you go, the Guru has to come with you. It doesn't matter in which lifetime. The Guru still has to come and take you out of this ocean. Yeah. So once I was sitting down at home, like for the last 2 weeks, and I'm Punjabi, I always think in Punjabi. Yeah. And I was thinking of Shyam Sundar, and I was thinking, oh, khada raah dekhda. Yeah. Oh, khada raah dekhda. He's standing there, looking at the way pe mera bhakt kadon mod ke auna. Par bhakt tena rasta aur kinne labh le. Raste aur kinne labh le, maya na muh pa ke un hore hi raj shuru kar diya. Yeah. Whether you're a king or not, but in your house you're a king. But you say you started your own little kingdom. Yeah. But he's still there. He's looking on the path. He's still waiting for all of us to come back home. But come back home doesn't necessarily, again, it's Bab te hunda bhai, where are you in your Bab? Yeah. Achieving Krishna doesn't mean that you go back to Golok Vrindavan. Yeah. It means you become Bhagata. Bali Maharaj, he resides in Patalo, and the God is the Lord himself. Even though it's Patalo, yeah, wherever it is Krishna, the Bhakta should be happy, the devotee should be happy, regardless. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many times you take birth. If you are worshipping Krishna, and Krishna is merciful unto you by the mercy of Gaura, then it doesn't make a difference whether you're on planet Earth, you're on Mars, you're on Pluto, you're in Suryadev. Yeah? It doesn't make a difference, long as the inner desire is Krishna, and nobody can waver that. your desire for Krishna should not waver at any point, even at the point of death. That's why Jisnu Rake Sanya Mar Sakina Koi. That's why you say that. As long as you're nobody, if somebody's trying to deter you from your Krishna consciousness, just move on. Don't stay there and try to convert them. If they don't want to convert, they don't want to convert. If they don't want to go back to your roots, don't go back to your roots. Just move on. But you shouldn't be swayed from your Krishna consciousness, because Krishna is looking for you. Krishna is waiting. I think we're going to run out of time, so now we should do. Yeah, if anybody's got a question. I did, I'm not really a birthday person. I've never ever celebrated my birthday. Even when I was at secondary school, somebody goes to me to your birthday, and I was like, what do you mean, birthday? What do you mean? He goes, the day you were born. I was like, oh, okay, that's a whole birthday. Oh, okay. But I remember giving a watch to my father on his birthday. When I learned what birthday was, I gave a watch to my father, and he goes, what's that for? And his reaction was my reaction that I had at school. He goes, Asi birthday nahi manao. I was like, okay. I was like, why is that then? He goes, Asi Guru Sadhu Shastra. We celebrate those and Shaheed, because we don't celebrate anything else. I was like, okay. So everybody in your life parts knowledge, whether it's good or bad. Good or bad is how you perceive it. It's like my son goes to me the other day, and I always say at work, my son goes, there's good news and bad news. I goes, news is news. It doesn't matter. It's how I perceive it, because your bad news could be good news for me. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But just stick to Krishna consciousness. So because I don't really celebrate my birthdays, on my birthday, I do like what the Sikhs say, Hukamnama. So Hukamnama is when the Guru goes to sleep, when he first wakes up, they wake him up. Whatever page it opens on, that's the instructions for the day. So on my birthday, I thought, let's take some instructions. So from 3 scriptures from the Bhagavatam, I wrote it on a piece of paper, and my family said, but you won't care about it. But then I was like this morning, where's that piece of paper? Because Haridas Prabhu told me I've got to give class. So after the Bhagavad Gita, the verse was 10:7. And then from the Srimad Bhagavatam, it was Canto 5, chapter 10 and verse 8. And then from Chaitanya Charitamrita, it was Madhya Lila, 10:10. And they were so relevant to me, because I like, when me and Haridas Prabhu used to chant, we used to chant so loud. One Sunday that he walked out, he goes, I find this disturbing. And but I had, you take instructions literally. But Srila Prabhupada said you should chant like a child cries out for his mother. And a child doesn't cry out like, no. He literally is screaming, isn't he? Because he needs immediate. So I used to like that. But that then also gave me pida, that loving devotion should be pida, in separation. So Madhya Lila, it opened up that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has left Jagannath Puri. So I was like, oh, okay, Gauranga. So that's, again, in separation. And then in Bhagavatam, it was when Jag Bharat was carrying the king, Raghugan. A king supposed to be as good as the Lord himself, because he's looking after his progeny. But it's written in that verse that the king was so on a bodily platform, he didn't think much of Jag Bharat. In this one verse, there was 2 sides, the bad side and the good side. The bad side of a human being and the good side, the devotee. So I thought that's another good instruction. Yeah, and I thought that's really good, because you shouldn't behave like that king towards devotees. Look how he was behaving, and Jad Bharat was a pure soul. By the mercy of the Lord, he was just going through different cycles until he to Krishna consciousness. And Bhagavad Gita was 10:7. So I thought, let's take it from all the scriptures. Lord, and then we're going to stop here. And then it said 10, it was 10:7. Yeah, 10:7. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. So it was like these 3 verses that opened up for me, and I thought, Jaya, thank you to Lord Krishna. That, yeah, so you got to get to that unalloyed devotional service. From there, nobody can sway you to a different path. So is there any questions from anyone before I get distracted again?
Big round of applause for this. Yeah. Okay, I have a question then. I mean, when you go to Gurudwara,
Yeah.
nobody stops you when not that.
No.
What sort of feeling do you have when you're there? Does it change your internal balance, like, do I belong here, or have I moved on, or moved differently, or whatever? You go there, is it just accept it? This is it. I'm used to this. Since you've been Krishna conscious.
Since I've been Krishna consciousness, it feels, since Krishna consciousness actually given me greater attachment to the gurus.
You can understand.
Yeah, and Guru Granth Sahib, they given me greater attachment by coming to Krishna consciousness, because even my brother says that in Guru Granth Sahib, he'll say it teaches impersonalism. I said he also teaches impersonalism in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, in the Puranas, but that just different forms of Lord Krishna.
He doesn't teach, it explains.
Yeah, explains.
See, there's the whole thing. It's not just because it's written down, it doesn't say that's it.
Yeah.
It explains it,
It explains
it addresses
it.
that, it addresses.
There are many verses what I've listened to in the Guru Granth Sahib, where it actually, especially by Guru Tegh Bahadur, there are verses written by Guru Tegh Bahadur where he's talking about Gopal, like Krishna, Guru Maharaj's favorite. And then there's verses written where he's playing in Nanda Baba's house, and he's got curly, and this is it's written by Guru Tegh Bahadur, the father of Guru Gobind Singh. Yeah. And then the Dasmi Granth, which is written by Guru Gobind Singh, literally talks about from Golok to planet Earth.
They didn't include it.
Yeah, it's not included, because they said, Guru Gobind Singh said, but all the gurus would have said the same, don't include one, don't include one, don't include one. But they were, it was all compiled together. Because a pure devotee is not going to compare his writing to the same as the previous, or the previous to the previous. But genuine, when people have counterparts, they will do both. Because then that completes it. On the other day, when I opened like Kasturi's sister's daughter, she's married to Nahang Singh. Nahang Singh means he dresses with a guru's attire, like with kirpan, with turban. You met him, he was asking you about meditation. And he gave me gifts, and one was materialistic. And when I went to open the other one, I thought, I hope this is spiritual. And he's Nahang Singh, yeah? But he gave me a book called Easy Journey to Other Planets by Srila Prabhupada. So I was like, wow, okay. So, that he listens, we're listening, and it does. At the end, it's the same. Even when my brother-in-law passed away, like Kasturi's sisters, we were doing Kampat every day. And Lord Vishnu's name, not just like Vishnu, like Mahavishnu, like Gopal, Govind, Jagannath,
Madhusudan.
Madhusudan, Sri Ram. It's mentioned literally. So I don't feel any different. But to me, it's the same. Especially when you read the Gaudiya Math scriptures written with the association of Guru Nanak with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, which is excluded from this. It's not talked about. But in Gaudiya Math, it's actually written that initiation by Guru Nanak, because he never took initiation when he was younger. He rejected him. But in Jagannath Puri, he took initiation, Brahman mantra, Bij mantra from Lord Nityananda. So I don't feel any different.
And the aartis which are sung at 7 o'clock in Gurdwaras, Guru Nanak Ji wrote it in Jagannath Puri.
In
During the aarti,
separation.
yeah, he was inspired by that.
Yeah.
And they did the joke like that, and he just sat down, and they came to, why are you sitting on? He goes, I'm appalled. The Lord Jagannath shouldn't just have this simple, there should be Gagan, the whole universe, and the Surya should be the Gilam, it should be so great. And it is sung like that. And why I wanted to share this was, please, there is only one God, there's only one love, dharma, and that is love of God. The rest are just labels people put on, and they think they're different. They're not different. Like one sun, sunshine. Everybody gets the sunshine. You can call it Moto, Surya Dev, sun, whatever. And you think it's different. It is not. And depending on your location, you feel different intensity of heat. So even though your experience is, our sun in winter is cold air, but in Sahara it's always hot. It's not different sun, it's the same sun, but because of your location. So similarly, because your dharma and your location, your perception is different, but it's the same one. Anybody else got a comment or any question?
Yeah, thank you. Guru Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, we're going to do aarti now, so if everybody can stand up. Where's Guru Sahib? Namayo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Krishna Daswami Iti Namite Namayo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya
Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Saraswati
What we're going to do now is I just kept it very simple. because the main will always be busy. So he'll sing Radha Krishna Puranam or a Jubilee show, so then everybody gets a chance to pull the jula. So that's why we are sharing the aarti with this jula. I don't know where is Pujari there. Dhruv, what's such name, Dhruv? Ah, there.
I'm saying it burst into a bunch of
Jai.
Haryali, Deej ki.
Jai.
Chaliya.
Radha Krishna Prana Mara Jugala Kesha Radha Krishna Prana Jugala Kesha Radha Krishna Prana Jugala Kesha Radha Krishna Prana Jivane Madhane Goti Arunahi Jivane Madhane Goti Arunahi Jivane Madhane Goti Arunahi Jivane Madhane Goti Arunahi Alindira Pule
অঙ্গে দিব চন্দনের কবে কাটিয়া মালতীর মালা জীব দোহার গলে কাটিয়া মালতীর মালা জীব দোহার গলে কাটিয়া মালতীর মালা অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূরতম অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূরতম অধরে তুলিয়া দিব ললিতা বিশাখায়াতি যত সখী ললিতা বিশাখায়াতি যত সখী ললিতা বিশাখায়াতি যত সখী বৃন্দ ললিতা বিশাখায়াতি যত সখী বৃন্দ আদয় করিত সেবা Jai
जय ओम इस्कॉन सुपरि ब्रह्मचार्य शिष्य माता भगवान विंदु भक्तिवेदांत संस्कृत रूपाद की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय श्री कृष्ण सर्व स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय श्री श्री सच्चिदानंद हरिताय चांद की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय श्री श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय जन्मजत्र महोत्सव की जय हरियाली तीज महोत्सव की जय इस्कॉन कवेंट्री की जय परमाराध्य पवन श्री गुरु महाराज की जय संडे महोत्सव की जय गौर ब्रह्मानंदी all flourish to the devotees all flourish to the devotees all flourish to the devotees all glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj ki
Take this simple way. I'm getting hearing aid tomorrow. You were saying this. इसको गुस्सा किस बात का?
इसके बड़ा कीर्तन नहीं आता
कान तोड़ दिया कहने इसके बिना कीर्तन नहीं होता Okay, so we're going to do the single day prayers. So, right. Hello, Haribo. So these single day prayers are very, very special. When we do these prayers for those who are not well, we do get a feedback saying because of the prayers we have got better. And so we value this praise very much. So thank you all this single day. Mrs. Bakri, she's passed away yesterday. She was temple president's wife at the Hindu Mandir a long time. Everybody knew her. You know, she'd been there for like yonks, and she was occupied for a while. So we'll be saying praise for her. Then Anant's daughter, Kish Sinclair, she passed away at the age of 50. She had cancer, and so she passed away. That's 2 weeks ago. Then there's some Ukrainian devotees, Krishna Tattva Prabhu and Madan Gopal Prabhu. With the bombing Russian invasion of Ukraine, they died. So also, some of the special presidents who are not well. His Holiness Japatak Swami, His Holiness Kadam Khan Swami, and many other Iskcon gurus and leaders suffering around the world. Also praise for Vidura and Vidurani. They would be here today. They're negative now, but they just thought to leave the gap. Also Prem Prakash and Nishani, the same thing. I think they're better, but likewise. Then Simon Rogers, Holly Bradby, Mrs. Bajaj, Jyoti Malan, Sudesh Kula, Chandrika Ben, Mistry, Rama Lakshmi, Satya's mother. How's she now? I mean, she's struggling with Satya.
She's still, I mean, not completely recovered, but she's working much
After
better.
the pregnancy,
Yeah.
Darshan of Lord Jagannath. Priyanka's mother, Rajeshwari. Priyanka really appreciated it because her mother was like very critical. So now she's, I think, come home and she's there. So I think she was going to go to Bharat. And then Premanjali, Shraddha Devi, Srimati, Prem Malan, many members of the Buddhist community are well. Janva Devidasi, Vijay Singh Reddy. She's okay now. Okay, is a she, Janvi? So Didi says Didi. So Borari Prabhu and mother, John, Vinda, Kishore Takrar, Daniel House, and many other devotees suffering around the world and victims of the war. So let's pray. I would like to invite Kusturi Ji, who is Kusturi. And also let's do the second prayer for Pratibhavan Prabhu. And he did very well. And it's nice to have devotees who's been loyal to the yatra. And I know Pratibhavan is very much about loyalty, He actually doesn't want to know somebody is not loyal to the yatra. He's like that. Namaste Gadya, Abhidev ke liye. औरों के लिए भी है। Can you hear it from? Yes, you are. Okay, so there you are. It's the end of the satsang, but before that, we'll cut the cake. And the Pavan and Parivar, please come around the cake. Jai. Howdy. Tar. Where's the tar?
Yeah, where the tar?
What do you call it? Pampali or something. Okay, somebody video. I'm not.
While we're waiting, sometimes me and Father we get into debates, dharmic debates. And then we have a bit of an argument, and then I always say to Punjabi, he always wins. Because he brought me, so by his mercy. So thank you, Father, for bringing me to the temple. And we have a wonderful family.
So everyone. Jyot se jyot jagate chalo, se jyot aage chalo, राह में आए जो मदीना पावन, राह में आए जो मदीना पावन, उसको 50th birthday कहते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो। So his name is Pandita Pavan, not PPD. It's not spiritual name at all, PPD. Everybody says PPD. Wow. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, big man God. Speech. You already had a speech.
We already had a speech. Gauranga, thank you to each and every one. Thank you to our family for arranging this birthday. Thank you, Dada Prabhu, again, and thank you all you wonderful devotees for coming today.
So now I'm going to ask your children.
Oh, no.
So what do you think of your dad? In one word. She had to think like that. Does he tell you off sometime? Yeah. Come on, gentlemen, don't run behind me. So what do you think of your dad? Just think about it. Think about it. You know, 5 minutes. Okay. There we go. What do you think of your dad? I don't know. You like him or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's I like my dad. So what does he make you do with what you don't want to do? Typical son in it. Come, give me a big round of applause. And what about studies? Did you tell you off?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to work hard. All right. So, what advice would you give him to be even better father? Yeah, pretty little fix. So that's very good. And what advice would you give to your father, saying he could do something better on some point? I tested them out and they're loyal to me, so that's good. Wonderful. So I won't ask us to read it because we need your personal life. So thank you very much and thank you for coming. Now on the 11th of, no, it's 12th of August, it's on a Friday, is Raksha Bandhan and Balram Jayanti. So please, no, some say 11, some say 12. So it's all confusing, we'll let you know. You know, 11th is Guru Sevak's birthday. So, no half-day fast.
Yeah, before the same.
You're on the 12th.
Parents say.
Oh,
9 days after.
is it? Yeah. Well, on the same, yeah, he was full of lines there. Yeah, very good. So, anybody wants to sponsor your birthdays, anniversary, whatever, you're welcome. And Anurag, he knows how much days for the cake, whatever, you can have different sizes. And today is also sponsor, if you want to sponsor a meal on a Sunday, even if you don't have any reason, he really pays all the bills and everything. And what do you get instead when you sponsor for the Lordship? Because we cook for the Lordship, so you get their blessings. And I was really, really happy. I think for the first time, ये पहली बार हुआ ना राधा माधव झूले पे. Yeah, first time. How many years they've been on their own?
लेकिन उस दिन नहीं हुआ था शरद पूर्णिमा के दिन एक दिन
Okay. But anyway, I can't recall it. So it's good. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You know, the Julian starts when?
12th of August.
So, huh?
Oh, it's already started.
Well, it started today.
Yeah.
So there's suggestions like, I just said for one day only, but it was so nice. Maybe next Sunday as well, if it's possible, because at the moment it was sliding a bit. Maybe you got tie wrapped at the top, so you want to slide, something like that. Would you like to do the Jula other Sundays as well?
Yeah.
Govinda! So really, I think it enriched me. I mean, when I was pulling it, it really felt special and then heavy, a little heavy. Yeah. But some of you watch out, they were pulling it too quickly, and Premad was watching.